To me, he looks like an art dealer, and he's not related to Wade Boggs. Mr. Gary Boggs!
Whoa. Man, I got a lot of family out here. It looks a lot like a Kentucky orgy. I read on the internet before I got here, you know, some quick tips for a stand-up comedian, and the first two things it said was, take the stage and you will be petrified. So I have two things right already. Thank you. My heart's pounding though. It's a whole lot like having sex for the first time. I mean, I can remember talking my girlfriend into it. We were both teenagers at the time, and she got scared just before we got started, and I said, look, I'll do my best. It's going to go quick. Brace yourself. You know, and so that's kind of what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to go fast. I'm going to do my best. Just brace yourself. I'll try to get through. I am so sick of the election. I'm sick of thinking of it. I already decided I'm going to vote for that Mormon Romney. And here's why. One reason only. It's the chance of having more than one first lady. I think that is so, we can have 2, 3, who knows? And if he has, we can have a harem of first ladies, and if he gets too busy and he can't take care of his manly duties, we always got Bill Clinton there to pick up the slack. Is any guys out there fascinated by biker chicks like I'm fascinated by biker chicks? I mean, they're kind of sexy, they're kind of slutty, you know. Yes. You got to watch what you say to a biker chick. I know me and my wife were invited over to this biker couple's house, and we had dinner, and we're sitting on the couch, and she's got this micro black leather skirt, mini, no panties on, black halter top, and that was my wife. No, wait, that was the biker chick, yeah. And we're sitting there, and like a dumbass, I look over and I see this little, kind of like a butterfly tattoo on her breast, and like a dumbass, I say, oh, that's an interesting butterfly you have there tattooed. And she, biker chick, she goes, that's not a butterfly. And she pulls her top to the side, leaned forward, her whole breast popped out. And she goes, and I looked, and it was a parrot in flight across her whole breast. I just saw the tip. And its feet was her nipple, And I thought, oh, goodness. And so all I could think of to say is, well, look, honey, it's a parrot. And they can be nasty, too. I mean, hand to my heart, I heard these two biker chicks talking, and one says, the old man wants to try anal sex. And do you know what the best lube is? And the other biker chick said, well, I always found a 12-pack of Budweiser did the best for me. As far as that goes. But, sorry, honey, my daughter's setting real low there in her seat. But, and as soon as the I don't think any part of our population ages as poorly as biker chicks. I'm sorry to say that. But it gets sad. I mean, as soon as she doesn't look good in her little black tongue, he's gonna, the first chance he gets, if he meets a blonde, skinny crack whore from a trailer park in Greene County, he's kicking her to the curb. It's just like biker evolution. That's what I'm guessing. But, I mean, is there anything sadder than a menopausal biker chick sitting on the curb without a ride? I mean, that's so sad. And speaking of menopause, isn't that a great segue? Speaking of menopause, I have this friend who tortures me with horror stories about menopause and everything. It scares the crap out of me. And he told me how his wife's getting these injections, to try to regulate her hormones so she can put her claws away. And he says she come home from the doctor. He said, well, how did it go? And she said, well, my testosterone's really high right now, but my estrogen's really low. He said, well, what does that mean? And she goes, well, it means I'm about to screw the hell out of you, but we're not going to cuddle afterwards. Thank you. We'll all live it one day. fictional characters. I love fictional characters, but my mind kind of works weird. I think of the untold, the things they don't tell you about fictional characters, like the old horror movies. I love those. And Frankenstein, they never tell you whether Frankenstein takes a crap or not. But you know he does, his body parts and everything, right? So I always envisioned Igor coming into the bathroom unexpected and saying, "Whoa, Frank, man, was it burrito night at the blind man's cottage? What? Light a match." Frankenstein's like, fire bad. Or maybe the wolf man. You know, we all know what happens during a full moon, but what happens during a half moon? Nothing? I don't think so. You know, he probably opens a can of Alpo, eats it out with a spoon, doesn't know why. Maybe he licks his balls, you know. Or if he's in San Francisco, maybe he licks somebody else's balls. I'm not judging, I'm just saying it's a possibility, I don't know. And then during the full moon, you know, he's out gallivanting and everything going nuts like that. And what happens if he runs into a bitch in heat? There's no dog that's not going to go under, trying to dig under the fence and everything, right? I always imagine, like a couple, 3 weeks from them, some lady goes, "Oh, honey, Sparkle's the lab, and she's having puppies. They're so cute. Oh my God, 2 of those look like Lon Chaney Jr. Look." But I came home one day, and on my wife's nightstand was a copy of Shades of Grey. You know, kind of like soft porn for middle-aged women, you know, and typical. Hey, Night Moves called. I'm sorry you didn't get the job. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, Shades of Grey. So I thought, you know, like a typical guy, I thought, sweet, you know, I'm going to get so lucky here. And I waited, you know, and a couple of days later she says, "Honey, can you take me to a sex shop?" And I thought, oh, you know, sure, okay, you know, it was kind of embarrassing. I never really went myself, let alone with my wife. And we get in, we walk in, and there's this smarmy guy behind the counter got his head in a dirty book, you know. I look in the magazine, and it's Old Biker Chick magazine, you know. And he's looking at it, and I said, "Where's your sex toys?" And he said, "Man, over there on the wall." So I walk over, and me and my wife, we look, and it's north to south, east to west, just a wall full of sex toys. And I said, "Well, you know, take your pick." And she looks and everything, and then in a couple minutes she says, "Well, I do like that big red one there." And I said, "Honey, that's a fire extinguisher." Shades of Grey, all wild sex and everything. So then it come to me, I said, "Honey, we have to think of some kind of a safety phrase I heard. You know, something you say, so you'll feel safe, and I know if I hear it, something you don't usually say, then I'll stop, you know, and it'll be cool." And she thought a minute, she said, "Well, what about I'm coming?" So